Imagine spending 16 years preparing for something, only to discover it wasn't the thing you actually needed. That's what happens to millions of people every year. They leave school believing they're prepared for life, then reality arrives. Suddenly, nobody cares about exam results. Nobody asks what grade you got in geography. Nobody rewards you for memorizing information. Instead, you're expected to know things nobody ever taught you: how to manage money, how to negotiate, how to build confidence, how to communicate, how to deal with failure. And for many people, that realization comes as a shock. Meet James. James was the perfect student, always on time, always completed his homework, always followed instructions. Teachers loved him, his parents were proud of him, and for years James believed he was winning because school had taught him a simple formula: work hard, get good grades, get a good job, live a good life. Simple. At least that's what he thought. Then James graduated, and something strange happened. For the first time in his life, nobody gave him a syllabus. Nobody gave him the answers. Nobody told him what would be on the test. Life became an open-ended problem, and suddenly the skills that had made him successful in school didn't seem nearly as valuable. Now, before anyone gets angry, this isn't an attack on education. School teaches important things: reading, writing, mathematics, history, science. These are useful. The problem isn't what school teaches. The problem is what it doesn't teach, because school was designed during a very different time. A time when most people would leave education and enter predictable careers: factories, offices, government jobs. The goal wasn't to create entrepreneurs, or investors, or creators. The goal was to create reliable workers, people who could follow instructions, arrive on time, complete tasks, and fit into existing systems. And to be fair, school does that quite well. But life rewards a different set of skills. Think about it. What determines success for most adults? It's usually not their ability to remember information. It's their ability to solve problems, communicate ideas, build relationships, handle uncertainty, manage emotions, take risks. And yet, most of these skills are barely discussed in school. Imagine a student leaving school knowing how to calculate the area of a triangle, but having no idea how interest rates work, no understanding of investing, no knowledge of budgeting, no experience negotiating a salary. Which skill will matter more over the next 40 years? The answer is obvious. School also teaches a dangerous lesson about failure. In school, failure is bad. You get questions wrong, you lose marks, you receive criticism, you fall behind. So students learn to avoid mistakes. But outside school, failure is often how progress happens. Every entrepreneur fails, every athlete fails, every creator fails, every successful person has made mistakes. The difference is that they learned from them. Life rewards experimentation. School often rewards caution. And that creates a problem, because people leave education terrified of looking foolish, terrified of being wrong, terrified of failure. Perhaps the biggest gap of all is money. Most people spend over a decade in education, yet never receive a meaningful lesson on wealth. They're taught how to earn money, but not how to keep it, not how to invest it, not how to grow it. So they enter adulthood with a strange belief that a high income automatically leads to wealth. But as we've already discussed on this channel, income and wealth are not the same thing. You can earn a lot and stay broke, or earn less and build freedom. Understanding that difference can change your entire life. Yet most people discover it by accident, years later, after making expensive mistakes. If school doesn't prepare you for life, then what does? Learning how to learn, because the world changes too quickly. The most valuable skill isn't knowing everything, it's being able to figure things out. Think about how many jobs today didn't exist 20 years ago, and how many jobs today won't exist 20 years from now. The people who thrive aren't necessarily the smartest, they're the most adaptable, they're willing to learn, unlearn, and learn again, over and over. Here's the good news: school may not teach everything, but your education doesn't end when school does. In fact, that's when it really begins, because now you can choose what to learn. You can study investing, communication, psychology, business, health, negotiation, leadership, the subjects that actually shape your future. And unlike school, nobody is forcing you. You're doing it because you understand the value. So, no, school isn't useless, but it isn't enough. It gives you tools, not the complete blueprint. The people who succeed in life understand this. They don't stop learning when they leave education. They become students forever. Because the real exam isn't at school, the real exam is life itself. And unlike school, nobody tells you the questions beforehand. If you want simple explanations about money, success, and human behavior, subscribe to How to Stick, because the lessons that matter most usually aren't taught in a classroom.